Hi, I'm Joe Hart and welcome to Footballers Unfiltered. This is not just another football podcast.
That is something that, Joe, that you as a keeper, you are weird as a class of people. I don't know any keeper really normal.
And I was like, you are joking.
And when I had that call, like 5 kilos went off. And then I understood how big that was just for other women.
Like your facial expression and your energy really changes. You really shine.
Bringing real and often hidden conversations among the players of today, both on and off the pitch, straight to you.
What gives me satisfaction.
Yeah, 100%. You can't change the past, right? But you can change the future. It's amazing to see you in your suit.
Life changed.
I see that.
I'm on the phone to my mum and I've done it. I've done it. And it was like the biggest weight off my shoulders ever.
I was very aggressive. I was very focused. I think you need that part in your life.
I've never seen such an emotional group of footballers.
I just want to play football.
Yeah.
I just want to play football.
I'm excited to be able to bring these real conversations among players today to you, so you can understand what life as a professional footballer is like. Molly Bartrip.
I think if you can give that 1-2 extra 3% mentally, that can win you a game.
Giorgio Chiellini. Just wondering what it was like first time Giorgio Chiellini walked into a classroom at university.
I arrived there 2 minutes before 9 a.m. and at 9:05 I was in another room because people start to screaming, asking selfie.
Samir Arab.
And it's crucial for players to have associations that protect their rights and care about them.
Josh Cavallo.
Why am I letting other people drive how I want to live my life and what I can do?
Sara Bjork.
As a woman footballer today, if you don't open your mouth and if you don't fight, things are not gonna get done.
Well, that aggressivity was still there when you pulled Saka back, so...
Yes, but it's mine.
Just opening my mind there about honesty and it took me back to someone that you'll know very well, a conversation I had with Ange Postecoglou. And I thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I'll just be totally honest with the guy. I didn't know Ange. I didn't even know his career. And he was incredible. He was so understanding. He told me that, look, he gets it. He's got a family too. He appreciated the honesty. And then he said, look, I've got your back. If you're going to come and do that for me, then we're going to have a good time. And it just kind of opened me up to those kind of open conversations, how far they can get you. And as I say, it doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly gets you moving forward, which is such a great feeling.
Absolutely. Showing your vulnerability is something that both of us as footballers wouldn't think would be looked on as a positive way. It would be looked on quite negative and it could have an impact on our careers.
How did your teammates react to when you were studying alongside your playing career?
At the beginning, it was weird. What are you doing? I was underlined with the mark and yellow or orange marker, and I was reading economics into the plane. And the second time, still doing it. After the third time, it was normal. As someone else is watching a TV series or a film, or someone else is reading a book, someone else is just sleeping, I was studying.
How did you see the scenario playing out when you announced the happy news, the joyful news that you were pregnant?
I didn't know what to expect. One day you're the star or you're very important for the club. And then you have a big injury, and you're not important anymore. This is in my head, because I'm very important when I was playing and I was giving something to the club. But now I'm going to be out for many months.
We get to the cafe. We sit down for a chat and a coffee, and then the intentions were clear, Listen, you're doing well. You drew against Montenegro away. You're playing them next home. The odds will be good. We want to fix the match.
And it was at the time where I didn't go deep into what diets were, but I'd heard about pasta and carbs, and they were some sort of enemy, and you should be careful of them. And I moved to Italy, the home of pasta and pizza. I said to my wife, I was like, we're going to the pasta and pizza center. I can't eat it.
It wasn't a matter of us fitting in. It was just to accept everyone. And I think that the biggest thing I go to is that, we see guys down the street holding hands, or we see 2 girls down the street holding hands. Why is football a place where that is not accepted? I want it to be that breaking point and to break boundaries and to show that I'm living proof, I'm walking proof of how people can be authentically gay and play football at a professional level and be happy on the top of their game.
We have both a psychologist and a nutritionist, and the relationship that the players have with both of them is top.
Do they work together?
Yeah. They work
I've
together.
never thought of it like that, but like, what a great combination that would be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be the psychologist for the players, it would be the psychologist for all the coaches, for everyone
That's
involved.
the thing people don't
The best
think.
way to communicate.
Of course everyone needs it. Of course, for a manager, when maybe your team's losing 3-4 games in a trot, do you not think that they need to talk to someone?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
FIFPRO, the global union for football players, represents over 66,000 professional footballers around the world.
It's like 20% of players experience an unhealthy relationship with food. It's not really talked about that much in the women's game. I think it's an endemic issue, to be honest. I think a lot of players probably have an unhealthy relationship with food and don't really recognise it as such because it's so normalised.
It takes the pressure off worrying about that next contract. If you're doing something, you've got something behind you, planning for the future and doing something outside it, whether it be a personal training course, a degree.
Inclusive environments and the link to performance is very nuanced. These are not necessarily easy conversations, right? So it's good to have someone that everyone can kind of go to for questions.
It can go from players who don't get paid, which in a country like Romania is 600 to 700 players every year. Sometimes it goes to pretty bad situations of players being beaten up.
Well, from a legal perspective, we were confident, but we were also aware that this was the first case.
Me moving forward in life, I always feel if I've done everything I possibly can, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the outcome, win, lose or draw.
Absolutely. And I can only imagine how much weight that felt off your shoulders, having that conversation, and a bit going forward, how much better you would have performed too, just knowing that a coach got you, understood you, had your back.
That's the power of having an inclusive environment, right? Feeling fully seen and accepted for whoever you are and whatever decision you want to make for yourself, for your family.
The thing is with mental health is, I feel like back then it was seen as a weakness.
Yeah.
I think even now it could be seen as a weakness. I don't want to believe that because I think what I've been through takes strength.
First of all, always remember why from such a young age you started football, how much you love doing it, and the passion behind it. After all, what these perpetrators want is to fix matches. And to fix matches, they need people involved in football. It only takes one person to influence it.
Being a professional or not, I've always just loved the game. The feeling that football gives me, I have the same feeling since I was even though I was a little girl, I still have it, and I'm 35 this year.
Being in a local cafe and someone who supports an opposition team will say to me, "Oh, Joe, make sure you let one in next weekend." And it's a joke, it's funny, and lots of people are listening. But technically, where would that leave me, Because it sounds like Samir's just being asked to do something that he didn't want to do.
Before, I would have a slice of toast, maybe in the evening before a game. And then I would go to the game and I would feel like I'm getting battered everywhere. I'm against these tall strikers and I'm small. And I would just be bouncing off them. And it was until I had that reality check that I was like, I'm not performing. I'm going to get dropped. I'm not at my best right now. And then I really said, okay, food is my fuel. Food is good for me.
Mid-20s, everything was about me. And I wanted it all to be about me, and I wanted to be the best, and I wanted to fight with the world's best. And then the moment that I realised that it wasn't about me was actually one of the best feelings.
I'm Josh Cavallo, I'm the footballer, I'm also the gay footballer, and I'm super proud to say that.
My message to professional football players is keep doing it for love. Money comes after.
Those times where you're playing in front of 20,000 people is what you dreamt of as a little girl. And I think that's definitely what I would tell my younger self is just, treasure the good moments, because sometimes we overthink all the negatives.
Follow your dreams, follow your hobbies, maintain your focus on your priority that has to be football, has to be the professional part of football, but not just limit your life to it.
Yeah, but I always say when I start moving very stiff and don't have then I need someone to tell me to, stop.
I don't think anyone will be brave enough to do that.
Probably not. I have to see the video of myself.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. That's great.